All right, Pete. So just running through this for you, as we discussed on the phone the other day, what your issue is that you have a whole series of drawing numbers which are prefixed with a letter, but you don't actually want that letter in the drawing number. So just to show that if we rename this sheet to 2000, and it has to have a name, otherwise Revit will throw an error. And then we get our M2000. We'll just go BB for the sake of it. Okay, now you see that you can't do that because the sheet number's already in use. Okay, so sheet numbers have to be unique. So if you've got all services in the one project, you have to take that into consideration if you don't want the prefix on the number. So I'm just using a dummy project here that I've put together for the purpose of this example. And the solution that I'm suggesting is that you use a shed parameter, and that shed parameter will be called doc number, and you'll use that in the title block in place of the sheet number. Okay, so you can still maintain your sheet numbers with the letter prefix. You can have all services in the one model. In that respect, it's easy for the modelers to find with the letter prefix, but then the drawings look correct when they get sent off to the architects and they don't have that letter prefix on the title block. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to edit the title block. Okay, and we're going to edit this label, which is the sheet number. Hit edit label up on the ribbon, just remove sheet number, and then we want to create a new or add a parameter. Okay, so as I said, the parameter that we want to add is called doc number. Now, I've already created one here, but what I'll do is I'll show you how to create one from scratch. So just say, for instance, we're going to create a project shared parameters file. All right. We don't want project specific parameters making their way back into the Oricom parameter file. So it's quite common for a separate shared parameter file to be maintained per project, just for little things like this here and there. So I'll just call this motion gate shared parameters. Okay, so you need to create a parameter group. So we'll call this sheets, and our parameter will be called doc num. Let's call it doc number, and it'll be common and it'll be text. Okay, so you just select OK, OK to select the parameter, and OK again. Now you just hit this little arrow button here and it'll throw that across. And we'll just throw an example number in there. Okay, load that into the project, overwrite the existing version and the parameters. And you'll see now that the sheet numbers disappeared from the title block. Okay, so the next step that you need to do is you don't just have to load the shared parameter into the title block, but you also need to load it into the project. So to do that, you go to the Manage tab. Okay, select Project Parameters, Add, select Shared Parameter, hit the Select button, and if you've just created the shared parameter file or whatever, the same file is going to be loaded, so you don't have to go and find it and load it up. But if you do, just remember where you save it, project number and then shared parameter folder, something like that. Okay, so we're going to select that that doc number shared parameter. It's going to be instance. We're going to group it under identity data. As you can see here on the left, identity data has the current sheet number under there, so we'll just keep that in the same place. And then for the categories that we want it to apply to, just scroll down and find sheets. Okay, select OK, and there's the parameter. It's now in the project. All right, so now that we've added that, you can see that here we now have doc number, and we can put our document number in. There you go. I'll just delete that for the moment, because obviously that's the wrong number. I put 1000 on a 2000 drawing. So what you want to do now is the BIMLink step. Now this is pretty easy, but if you're not familiar with Excel, not saying that you're not, but if you're not, it's worthwhile learning a few Excel formulas and tips and tricks and whatever. So I've already got a sheet link set up. Sorry for all the background noise. I'm in the kitchen here at the project office. Harley Davidson just went down the street. But yeah, so this sheet link that I've got, I've used that to create all these sheets for this example. So I'm going to go through what you need to do to create a new link in BIMLink. Now, just be mindful that I may have a different version of BIMLink. I'm using 2014. If you're using 2013, you might be slightly behind. The difference is that the next few steps that I'm going to show you will probably be in one dialog box altogether. So anyway, so what we want to do is we want to select the type of link that we're creating. So it's going to be a sheet link. Select next. We need to give the link a name. So we're going to call it sheet to doc number. Whoops, can't type. And it'll be instance link. Hit next. Okay, so now this brings up our list of parameters that we want to select. So we want to find doc number, which is here. We add that. And then we want to find sheet number. We add that. And that's all we want to use. So hit done. Now the only reason I've only selected those two is just basically the more you add to BIMLink, the longer things will take. Obviously we're only dealing with about 15 sheets here, but say if you're dealing with 100 sheets, and instead of only exporting 2 parameters, you decided to export 10, you're going to be sitting there for a little while. Anyway, so the next step is to export the link to Excel. So we're going to call it sheet 2 doc number. Okay, so the version of BIMLink that you have might not have this open file button. If it doesn't, just find where you saved it and open it up. Okay, so now to get the H, the E, the M, or whatever out of our document, out of our sheet number, so we can just put the plain number in the doc number parameter. What we need to do is use text to columns. Now, this isn't really a formula or anything. It's just basically select all the cells that you want. Under the data tab, you want to hit text to columns. You want to go a delimited width. Untick tab as the delimiter and select other, and then put the hyphen in. As you can see here, the data preview, it'll show you that it's split out our text into 2 cells. You can hit next if you want, but we can just hit finish, but we'll do our destination actually. See if we can shift it across over here and see what happens. There we go. So the reason why I did that that last step where we selected the location is because otherwise it'll overwrite all these parameters and you'll have just H's, E's and M's in there, and then you have your numbers in column D. So because we want to obviously push all this back into Revit, this column still needs to be here, otherwise BIMLink will have an error. It'll say that data is missing from the link, so that has to be there and maintained. Now you see here, for whatever reason, our 001s have just come out as 1. Now, all you have to do is, it's 0001, sorry, all you have to do is type in 0001, and I'm wrong. So that's due to the cell format. So if we change our cell format to text and type in 0001, then you've got 0001. And the whole reason that is because it's a number. Now you can use a little, not an exclamation mark, a little quotation mark, I believe, but for the sake of this, I mean, it's easy enough just to, you've got it in text, put in 0001, hopefully you don't have too many sheets that happens with. Now all we want to do is copy that, paste the values across. Now they're the document numbers that you want on the title block, or the numbers you want on the title block. You need to save the link, and then you need to close it. If you don't close the Excel file, BIMLink won't be able to re-import the file. Alright, so now we make sure that we have our correct link selected, hit the import button, find our sheet 2 doc number file, select the worksheet that we want to import, All right, now it gives you a preview of the new value and the current value. As you can see, the current values were empty. New values are going to have numbers, and that will match all the sheet numbers, minus the letter prefix. And then you just hit close, and there you go. So if we go through all of our sheets, you will see that all the letter prefixes are removed, but you've got the same numbers at the start. Or sorry, not at the start, you've just got the same numbers between disciplines in the one project. Of course, your sheet numbers remain the same with the letter prefix at the start. That's probably a good thing though, because you want your modelers to be able to find the sheets pretty easily. So you've just, the electrical guys know to go to the E drawings, hydraulics go to H and whatnot, whatever. You can also split these up with sorting, grouping. You can set your browser organization to Oricon. All right, so I believe I should actually check. I should know this. Let's have a look. Filter by none. AUR discipline. So what you do, AUR discipline would actually be all you want. That is correct how that's set up. And so what you do, you take all your electrical sheets and you'd change the AUR discipline to electrical. And that I only did one sheet. And it did a mechanical sheet. That's fantastic. Maybe I'll cut this bit of the end off the end of the video. But yeah, so you can sort all of these. Didn't work again. So it's got to be one by one. Or you can use BIMLink for it. That's probably the way to do it. And in that case, you just push out the AUR discipline parameter. So you can actually edit the link that you've already got. Properties on the link, AUR discipline, add that, go OK. Whoops, not import, export. We'll just overwrite that, open the file. Okay, so AUR discipline, mechanical. What do we got here? We got electrical. Copy that down. Hydraulics. Save the Excel file, close it down. Re-import the Excel file. And then you'll see that all of our sheets are sorted out. And it's as simple as that. So as I said earlier, BIMLink is only as good as your Excel knowledge. Most people just use it for creating sheet numbers. It's a bit more powerful than that, but if you need any help with it, just let me know, and yeah, we'll run through it and sort it out. All right, thanks.